I'm telling you, I feel like there's sabotage going
You're
on
live.
here.
Hello, everyone.
What's going on?
Welcome to Video Chicken.
Yeah, welcome to Video Chicken Live. We are live. Let's see. There you guys are. Welcome. It is Friday. It is noon. We got an awesome show today. We have a guest today that we're going to be talking about. She fought HOA and won. Well, is winning right now, but I guess they're fighting back. So we're going to talk to her today. It's a great story. It's someone that Kristen found. So are we ready to get started?
We are.
Let's go. It's time for Video Chicken. Don't hit the lights. What is wrong with you? To my left, co-host, chickenista, chicken expert, Kristen. Today is going to be an awesome show. Look at Goosebumps.
Coyotes are everywhere.
What's going on, Kristen?
Oh, I was just getting my chicken poop necklace on.
Can I get some? Someone's already pooped. Ingrid's
Conversions.
like doing her job. Ask and you may receive. Ingrid is on it.
Don't blame it on me.
Oxygen is the solution to foul odors.
I just felt it on my back. It's warm and oh, God.
I knew I was going to have serious problems that, like, the Coop remained that much better than the house forever.
The Coop is beautiful, by the way. I'm not trying to plug your products by any means.
Please do.
Lipstick, give me a makeup kit. You know, I'll be nice and pretty for the crows.
Oh, so let's pull out another chicken. This is like a magic trick. Up to 1 o'clock already. Oh my God. We have a new Ingrid.
Memo. I missed the memo.
Know a lot of people who do raise rabbits alongside their chickens.
Why would you wait till the last minute to pull out your homework?
Have we met before?
Yeah, that's a good one with the cords and everything.
This falls right off, and he regrows a new one the following spring.
Calm down, Matt. Calm down.
Why?
This is a really interesting show.
See?
Yeah.
My fault. I love it, Cindy. You just earned yourself a shirt. I love that.
Yes, Matt, you are right.
I had no idea what to expect when we opened up that box, and this is why we love what we do.
That's my goal, is to really bring people together through chickens.
The power of chickens.
So-
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Video Chicken Live. It is September 6th, 2024. We are live. It is Friday. It is a beautiful Friday. It's starting to cool down a little bit, and I'm not going to lie, as much as I'd love to brag about how much I love the heat, I'm kind of enjoying it a little bit.
Oh, it's a nice reprieve.
We do need to work on our lighting a little bit. I think someone's been in here messing things up, so I may tweak the lighting a little bit, so no need to adjust your screen. Kristen, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. I'm excited about today's show.
Yes. Why? What is today's show?
Today we are going to interview someone who went up against their HOA and won. And it is particularly important for anybody, especially in North Carolina, but nationwide, who is in a town or an HOA. Because there is some legal precedent here that chickens are pets rather than farm animals or poultry. So this really does affect a lot of people.
Yeah, so we got legality, legalization, legalization.
We can make up words.
Yeah, we're going to probably be making up a lot of words today. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm still trying to get my
I'm
caffeine.
not an attorney. And I've had my own personal battle. Some of us are familiar with Down with Dale.
Yes. Hashtag Down with Dale.
I've had my own personal battle
Yeah,
as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ingrid too.
What's going on with you guys? I've never had to have a battle
Oh,
with chickens.
no.
Every day it's a battle with chickens. It seems like
Hey,
in
did
my
the town of Durham give you any hassle for your chickens?
No, they gave me a hassle because apparently it's a bad idea to run a full sawmill operation while you live in the city.
Oh, so the chickens were the least of their issues with you.
We had logs. I'll never forget it. We had logs getting dropped off at our house. They were so big. They were shaking my neighbors' houses when they would fall out of the back of the truck.
Oh, wow.
And Nan's like, you got to stop this. We're going to get sued for cracking the foundation. I was like, well, that's already happening in this neighborhood because of another company setting off dynamite.
Oh.
Yeah, so we have Mary in the green room today. We're going to bring her in. I can't wait to hear her story.
Yeah, I don't know it either. So this is all new to me. I've read the most of the court document.
That's confusing.
Which was interesting.
Also, I do want to mention I got another camera going. Kelly, who's not here today, I guess her parent-in-laws, father and mother-in-law are in town, so she is not here at work today. But she said, why don't you just set up a camera and go live on TikTok? So it's just another way for people to find out about the show that we're doing. So you don't see the green screen running. You just see a green screen. But if you are watching over on TikTok, it's best to go over to Carolina Coop's YouTube channel, and you can watch us live right there, especially because today we have a guest, and you won't be able to hear the guest through TikTok. You will through the show.
And besides, we have a great backdrop.
Which one, the green or that?
No, on the real show.
That's
but
what I
not
would
on
think.
TikTok.
Yes, that right.
Right.
You could, okay. So we're gonna bring Mary in probably in about 5-10 minutes. I hope you guys are all doing well. Please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that heart too. I'm not sure what the heart does, but it makes me feel better when you guys hit that heart. If you don't have any questions or comments, do us a huge favor. Say hi. Tell us where you're watching from. And I did want to real quick.
Oh, you have your mouse today.
Speaking of mouse, I got a new mouse for my other computer, finally. Mosaic says I'm going to buy 2 Silkies. I'm going to name them Matt and Kristen.
Oh, I'm honored. And Matt is not.
Oh, I find it as an insult.
I know. That's what I said.
That's why it's perfect. She's honored. You're insulted.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Go for it.
And then after we get done talking to Mary, who fought the HOA, I did feel I need to get in. I need to address some comments. There's been so many comments that I've been reading that I just need to address. I want to talk about. And one of them was, actually, we got a bad review, and you know how much I love bad reviews, about our hemp.
Was that the Amazon review that you're talking about?
It might have been on Amazon because we can't fight back. I am so tired of Amazon.
Well, I did write a response.
Okay, talking to the mic. I can't hear you.
I did write maybe.
Bring the mic. There we go.
I wrote a response, but I had a great response. And then there was like a 400 character limit. So then I had to take out all the I
hate that.
Oh my God. I mean, it was a long response because it touched on everything.
This is not the time to start reading, Matt.
And it was a very nice comment to a negative review, but it was nice but firm.
Okay, so real quick. I mean, we're going to go into it, but here's what the review was. And I'm not saying she's right or wrong. And again, I've learned that I do appreciate people that are willing to take the time and let us know if they feel something is wrong. If we're saying something wrong, we're representing something wrong. But this one was, you could say there's a lot to it. And it's all about that the hemp supposedly was contributing to her scorpion population inside her chicken coop, which killed her chickens.
Right. And she also said that
Whoa.
and she also said that it caused mold and mildew and mushrooms growing underneath when they removed it. I'm thinking that she probably has a kind of shed. We have no idea what her coop looks like.
Bingo.
All right.
Bingo.
She's attributing this, and she said her vet said get rid of the hemp, but maybe the hemp doesn't work for her because of the way her coop is. That's the only thing I could think of. Plus, I don't know how many people can relate to scorpion pressure. I'm not saying it's not there, but how many people?
Is that in your book?
Oh, God, yeah.
Handbook of Pest Control?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So I was going to brush up on it. I never had to deal with scorpions in the Northeast and also working in the Southeast, but I had one time a scorpion in a hotel in Rochester, New York. I'll never forget it.
What?
And sure enough, I
How is
said...
that possible?
It came from somebody's luggage.
Yep, and that person was from New Mexico, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
This woman's in Arizona,
Right.
Yeah.
So the Southwest, I mean, the scorpions are everywhere out there. And even Nicole's like, scorpions are everywhere out there. It's like saying you're never going to find a cricket somewhere. But to kill the chickens, I guess if it's a certain species of scorpion and it stings the chicken and the venom.
But did she say chickens?
She said chicken. She said she claims to have lost 6 chickens to scorpion bites. Now, I don't know if there.
Did she actually say scorpion bites?
She said to scorpions.
Okay.
And then she said that, I mean, I don't know what scorpions' behavior is. So is it gonna crawl up to the roost bars? Like, where were her chickens roosting? I'm confused as to how this is happening. And if you are in a place where the scorpions wouldn't free ranging, I mean, just them being outside, they're at risk for scorpions. But she was claiming that the hemp gave a nice, soft, warm place for them.
That was the other thing. She kept saying that we made the claim that it's a benefit that hemp holds heat.
Right.
And that is, I guarantee you, and maybe I'm wrong, I've never said it like that.
Well,
No.
We might have said something like that like 10 years ago.
Not necessarily, no.
Well, when it composts, it could generate heat.
True.
It's not going to substantially generate heat that's going to attract things that would be attracted to heat.
Right.
It's not going to raise the temperature.
Right.
But hold heat?
Yeah.
No.
I guess that's what I'm hung up on. You know me, Mr. Technicality.
Right.
It's the
Watch your words.
Yeah. Because hemp is not going to hold heat very well at all. But any type of insulating product could hold heat, keep heat out, You know what I
Sounds
mean?
like she has a moisture problem, and those
Absolutely.
That's
those
what I was
chickens could
thinking.
have died from any disease, and the scorpions.
What kills
could have been
chickens all the
there.
time? Mold?
Yeah.
Hello? You know what I mean? So, but I wish we could talk to her. So we're going to get into that here in a little bit. If you're just joining us, welcome to Video Chicken Live. I see our audience is fluctuating a lot, so it must be that TikTok is working.
We got Puerto Rico represented.
Yeah, if you guys are watching on TikTok, don't watch there, but welcome to Video Chicken Live on TikTok, but go over to our YouTube channel because you get to see the real show. In a couple more minutes, we're going to bring Mary in. I cannot wait to talk to her. She is the one that fought her local HOA, and you know how much we love HOA.
No.
And I
facetious.
can't wait to hear that story. And then we're going to get into another comment about rust on metal that someone's trying to beat me up on. I'm just like, oh my gosh, here
I
we
don't
go.
know where that comment is.
It was this morning. I'm realizing the comments on social media is like me watching the news. I almost got to stop, and I did stop for a while with the comments because it'll just, I can't sleep. But I started reading them again because I'm changing tactics with the company where it's no more stay in your lane. I want everyone crossing lanes and driving like this, and everyone's going to learn everyone's job, and it's going to be beautiful like how it used to be back in the old days.
Right.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get started. Let's get Mary in here.
Okay.
And
You guys are going to have to scooch together. You
Okay.
know.
Okay. I was just.
And actually, you need to scooch more this way because I don't want to have to move that phone.
okay,
Again, if you're
okay.
watching on TikTok,
Okay,
go to our
that's fine.
YouTube channel, Carolina Coops. And here we go. We're going to bring in Mary.
I never can get the audio. I'm going to add.
Ed Wright.
Right.
Perfect. Mary, good
No,
good
you need to
af-
scoot in a
Wait.
little bit.
There
There
we
we go.
good afternoon, Mary. How are you doing
Hi.
today?
Hi, I'm fantastic.
Awesome.
What
Mary,
can you
where
bet?
are you watching from right now?
I'm right outside of Monroe, North Carolina.
Okay, so you're local. Monroe. Is that
That's
Charlotte?
Near Charlotte?
It's like South Charlotte, real close
Okay.
to the border between North and South Carolina.
Gotcha. And we got to check out this shirt. I see you have a chicken shirt. Ingrid, I got to move this a little bit.
It says chickens.
Our
people
people
too.
too.
Oh,
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah, that is great. Did you wear that when you went to court to fight the HOA?
No, I wasn't allowed. They said I would be advocating for myself.
Okay, so that's how good this conversation is
and
about
you
to
can't
get.
do that apparently
Yeah.
in court. I thought that's why you're
Absolutely not.
there. But okay.
And none of our supporters could wear anything chicken related either
Wow.
because they didn't want to influence the jury.
Wow.
Oh
That
my
is-
gosh. All right, so let's get started. Okay, I got some questions. I see you got questions.
Okay.
So, folks, here we have Mary. Mary, where were you living when this all started?
I was living right outside of Wesley Chapel in Union County, North Carolina.
Whereabouts is that on the map?
Yankee.
Between Weddington and Monroe.
Okay, so you're down by Charlotte still.
General area.
Yeah.
Okay.
And rural. We had
Okay.
17 acres in an
Now-
HOA.
And you're living in
Wait, you had 17 acres?
We did. In a barn, we had horses. Yeah, it was an equestrian community, which is why we bought in there.
So that's what I wanted to ask first. We got to set the stage here.
Okay.
So you moved into this HOA, and you knew you were going into an HOA that they had rules, or did you not?
Yes. We looked at 3 separate houses in this HOA before we decided to buy. When we looked at the first house, it was too small. It had a really nice barn. We liked the area, so our realtor checked with the board on the HOA, and even though the CCNR said in the livestock, it said no poultry of any kind, but you were allowed to have pets, and I wanted to have pet chickens, and there were several families in the neighborhood. There were only 23 homes, 27 lots. Several families had pet chickens, and my realtor confirmed that several families had them and that would be fine.
Wow.
We looked at a second house, and actually we bid on it and we got outbid, and it had 3.5 acres, I think, and a really nice barn because we wanted to get horses. We have a little girl, she wanted horses, and I wanted chickens. And again, we checked with a different HOA president because the board had changed. It had been a year, and they still told our realtor several families had chickens. It has never been a problem. So we were like, okay, cool. We really like this neighborhood. Then we found a third house, and it was actually 2 lots with 17 acres. So we, again, our realtor checked with a different HOA president, because it had been into the next year. Yes, several families had chickens. It had never been a problem. No roosters, but it was fine. So then we bid on the house, we got the house, and we moved in 2017.
Wow.
Okay, so when
you did your due diligence, really.
We did.
So when you were looking at these 3 houses, were they all in the same HOA, or were these 3 different HOAs?
It's the same HOA. It's one street.
Okay.
With 23 homes with 27 lots. So there's really only 23 families lived on that street. It was a gated community, and the name in the neighborhood was Farms. It was part of the name. And it's an equestrian community.
Okay, so
Wow.
you decided on a house, you did your due diligence, and the realtor, your realtor on your behalf gave you supposedly the peace of mind that you should be able to have chickens, because it did say no poultry, but that there were already existing families that had chickens, and that you even at one point, you or the realtor went to the president of the HOA and gave a verbal okay.
Yes, 3
times. Okay. So then you're like, yes. Okay, so we buy a house, and we move in, and you had how many? You had 17 acres on this particular property.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Now, so you decided to get chickens. Was this your first time having chickens?
I had chicken when I was a kid. We had a pet chicken. My dad used to do work for people, and then they would pay him any way they could pay him. And I didn't understand the whole barter situation. So somebody gave my dad a chicken. I thought it was our pet. I named him. I followed him around the yard. I read to him because I was a little kid. He had the best personality. And I always said when I grew up, I was going to have chickens because I loved, like a dog. Like I just loved everything about him. And it took me a long time to be in a situation where I could finally relax and have my chickens.
Oh, that's
and that was our goal.
Before.
When we bought our house, that was our number 1 goal. Number 2 was being in a good neighborhood with good schools, but we wanted to be able to have chickens. And that was our goal. And that was what we put out every single time our realtor looked at a house. She knew that was number 1 on our list.
I love that story. What year did you buy this house?
You said 2017.
2017.
Okay, so 2017. So this is fairly recent. So what's that? 7 years ago, roughly 7 years ago. Okay, and then you decide. How many chickens did you start off with?
We got 5 chickens. We bought a little tiny coop that we kept in the garage because they were too small to go outside, and it was October, so it was starting to get cold. In December, my husband looked at other neighbors' coops to kind of look at designs. So he went physically to 2 neighbors' houses, looked at their coops, looked at their setup, got ideas about what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't work. He did a lot of research, and we actually looked at Carolina Coops at the time.
Thank you.
We wanted to build something ourselves. My husband is he's an IT professional, but he likes to do woodworking on the side, his own, build your own, you invested in it. So he did a lot of research, and then we started building the coop probably January. Took a couple of months to get it exactly the way we wanted, predator proof. It was a beautiful coop. It matched the barn. We used cedar shingles to match the barn. So it was very aesthetic, very safe, and it was beautiful. Very proud of it.
Awesome. All right, so you built a coop. You said you started with 5 chickens?
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, what type of chickens did you have, or do you have?
I had, I still have 2 of the originals. I had a silver lace Wyandotte, gold lace Wyandotte, a Rhode Island red, a New Hampshire white, and an Easter egger.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, I love the variety.
Yes, that is awesome.
In her video, you can see all.
And we actually got them at Urban Chicken in Raleigh.
Oh yeah, that's where I got mine.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Kristen.
If you guys are just joining us, we have Mary who fought HOA. We're getting into this story right now, so you haven't missed much. Just kind of setting the stage here. If you guys have any questions or comments about this particular situation, obviously leave them in the comments section. All right, so Mary, so you got the house, got the chickens, got the coop. Thank you for checking out Carolina Coops. And so I guess...
When did you figure out there was an issue?
Well, hold on. Okay. What happened? What sparked the issue? How long did you go where there was no issue?
About 20 months.
Okay, so almost 2 years.
Wow.
Got chickens, getting eggs. Everything is great.
Yeah.
How's the neighbors situation, especially with the neighbors with chickens? Were you guys getting along? Did you guys like talk chickens with each
actually.
other? Okay,
We
now
shared stories. I gave eggs to neighbors. I never charged anybody. I gave eggs to neighbors. Neighbors would bring me watermelon, basil, oregano, tomatoes, things from their garden. It was a nice neighborhood.
Now, are your chickens free ranging? Are they staying inside the run, inside the chicken coop?
They were inside the chicken coop because we have, with 17 acres, we had coyotes, we had everything, fox, raccoons.
Did everyone?
As they say, everybody loves chickens.
Yeah, right. Did everyone keep their chickens inside the coop, or did some people free range, some people didn't?
No, everything was in the coop.
Okay, gotcha.
And nobody had roosters. There were no roosters, just hens.
Perfect. All right, so 20 months goes by. What happened? Was there a knock on the door? Did you get a letter? How did it all start?
Well, it started when a new person came into the neighborhood and wasn't following the rules, like mowing their grass, taking care of weeds, picking up sticks, leaving cars parked on the road. So the HOA started getting involved with following the rules. So they said, we have all these rules, you need to follow them, or we're going to have to enforce everything. If you don't follow these rules, we're enforcing everything. So that's when the threats started of just how the HOA board was. If you don't do this, we're enforcing this. If you don't do this, we're enforcing this. So that went back and forth for a while. I went to a board meeting, and I said, if nobody cares about chickens, why don't we just change the documents?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that would take too much time. It's not a big deal. Nobody cares about chickens. We have other things to deal with. So that was at the beginning of this. So in 2020, when, of course, the world shut down and nobody had anything else to do, the board decided to start getting involved. So they sent out a letter and said, okay, nobody's following the rules, so now everybody's following every rule. And that means it was like the beginning of March, you couldn't drive your ATV on the road anymore. You couldn't, you had to pick up this, you had to do that, no more chickens, no more whatever. And that was it.
Real quick, I just got to understand this. So, but this is a horse community. You can have horses, but you can't have chickens. Isn't that strange?
Very strange.
Okay, so this is one of those.
It defies common sense, really.
So this is one of those situations. Bad apple. All right. So someone comes in.
Right.
They're not mowing. They're not taking. They're probably not whatever doing the things that started all this. So then, of course, everyone's got to get punished. And so then, what happened? Did they start to like make threats to everyone? Did everyone kind of come together and try to fight it, or did some people say, "Okay, I'll get rid of my chickens"?
I also want to know: was it neighborhood run, or did you have an outside company run your HOA?
At first it was neighborhood run, and then the neighbors, I guess, would say, well, who are you to tell me what I can do on my own property? Mm-hmm. So then the HOA board decided to go with a company to enforce all the rules. So that was about the same time as this happened. So that's
so it was really the new company that cracked down because they were faceless.
It was the new company, but at every board meeting we ever had, when we had a HOA meeting, they would say, well, the company is enforcing, but we're telling them what to enforce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hold on a minute. And I got to step back for a second. I never even heard of HOA until I moved to North Carolina. I'll never forget how I
hadn't either. No, I hadn't either.
Bore you guys with the story how I discovered it, but there was a lot of letters when I was living in my sister's house, and she finally got back from Italy like 3 weeks later, and there's a stack of letters of all the things I was doing wrong. So HOA, Homeowners Association, and again up north, where I come from, there is no HOA, so I'd never heard of this.
Same.
And so when I moved down here, I was like, I couldn't believe people would ever want to live in an HOA. But I can understand for people that might be supportive of HOAs, I can see maybe they serve a purpose where people don't want to have to worry about their neighbors. And I think they all should have something in common where it should work out well. But this is kind of one of those situations that reminds me of your situation with HOA where no one's enforcing it.
Right.
And I wonder how long they weren't enforcing it. And then all of a sudden that one bad apple comes in, and then all of a sudden there's trying to crack down, which kind of just sucks to begin with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially if there's not an ability to say, well, you got a lemon law here, you're kind of grandfathered in.
Right.
Yeah, and the weird
They
thing
had
is
chickens.
no, I was going to say the
Sorry,
weird thing is that when it's like Kristen has a big lot of land. I know somebody else that lives in Hillsborough has all this land, and they're like, well, there's covenants. I'm like, what? It seems like when you have like a big place that agriculture would be encouraged, that there's covenants and HOAs that are enforcing these rules. It just seems weird to me. It's you think of it like a small little houses or townhomes and things like that. You don't think of suburban stuff. You don't think of it in the country, kind of.
Okay, so
it really defies logic.
So they're cracking down. What was the next move? What happened after? At what point were you like, enough's enough? We're going to court.
Well, they gave us a letter and said we had 30 days. So we contacted an attorney, an HOA attorney, and the attorney said that under the covenants that it says or household pets, we considered our chickens our pets, and we were fine. So her advice was under counsel that we didn't have to remove them. So we returned the letter in, said under the covenants, these are considered pets. So then they started fining us $100 a day, every day, until we got rid of the chickens. And it was probably from March or April, we requested a meeting. We had a meeting. They said, no, you have to get rid of the chickens. And they continued fining us. We decided to go with a mediator. And their only way to compromise with us was for us to move out of the neighborhood or get rid of the chickens. And that was when we decided, you can't make me move. We're going to court.
Okay, so you were literally having face-to-face meetings with the people from the HOA, the board. Yeah. So
yes.
So you're sitting down, you're face-to-face with them. Was it, did it get hostile? Was there any getting angry with each other? Or was it just kind of quick, normal conversations? And at the end of the day, it's just who's going to make the first move? Like, how did that interaction happen?
Well, because it was 2020 and everything had to be Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
So, they were in their room with their attorney. We were in our room with our attorney. And so everything was fairly cordial. Okay. Because, everything's being recorded, of course, as well. So are you going to start yelling and screaming while you're being recorded? So it was.
Who does that?
It was right. It was fairly cordial.
Okay.
But when we had our mediator, and the mediator said, they're not going to budge. You have to move or you have to get rid of your chickens. That was when we said, enough's enough. Right. We bought the house in this community with 3 separate conversations that said we were allowed to have chickens. We bought that house in that neighborhood because they said we could have chickens. And then they're telling us we can't. And I know people were like, oh, it's just chickens. Why don't you just get rid of them? No, they're my pets. Yeah. We named them after our grandmothers. Like the first
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did.
Our grandmothers. Say there was their first name or their middle name, my daughter's grandmother, and then the chickens that we got after that, because we added like 5 or 6 more within the first 6 months. Because then I found out about fancy chickens and silkies and blue egg layers and green egg layers and dark chocolate.
There we go.
So that I wanted
Chicken
the Polish. I wanted the silkies, right? And my daughter named them. They all have names. I have 60 chickens now, and geese and ducks and turkeys and guineas, and they all have names. There are pets. Yeah. Even my wild guineas have names.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And you can't even tell them apart, so that's good.
Yes. Yeah, you can't, because they all have different personalities. They are my pets. They were my pets from the beginning, and that's what I said. These are my pets. I moved in because I said, you said I could have them, and now you're saying I can't, and enough's enough.
If you guys are just joining us, we have Mary, who now we're starting to get into the story. We're up to the point where we're about to go to court. She fought the HOA, and we're just kind of diving in, understanding everything. So how long was it from that one meeting where you said, enough's enough, we're going to court, to you're actually sitting in a courtroom?
It was about a year, a little
wow.
more than a year. We, because our attorney would ask for a summary judgment. So we would have to go in, and without a jury, the judge was supposed to look at the documents and make a decision. But our judge wouldn't make the decision. So the judge was really the one that said we have to go to a jury trial.
Wow.
So
and
that took
all this time. You're getting fined, right?
Yes. So in December of 19, I moved my chickens to my friend who lived in Lake Norman. She took all my chickens. I had 24 because I'd had up to 60, but I sold a lot of my chickens so I could keep the 24 because they were like, well, 24 is reasonable instead of what I had. So I sold a lot of them, which was sad. Some people said that I could have them back if I wanted to come and get them back. But then my friend took the rest of them to her house up at Lake Norman. So I drove every week to Lake Norman from my house, which was about an hour and 20 minutes, to clean the coops, to clean the waterers, to clean the feeders, to change their bedding, to make sure they were healthy, to sit and give them cuddles and love and make them know that I didn't abandon them. Because I was worried as much about them,
Sure,
thinking I just dropped them off somewhere.
Wow.
And my friend was very gracious to take them on her property and take care of them for me because, it's not just a weekly thing, it's a daily thing. But I would go up every week because I was working and my daughter was young. So I went up once a week and I had to do that. And because we just couldn't afford $100 a day. I mean, it was up to $31,000.
Yeah,
$31,500.
I was just looking for a calculator. I want to start adding up the math to kind of put ourselves in her shoes. Like this is, this has got obviously in the back of your mind. It's got to be stressful. At any point up to this point in the story, did you have that heart to heart with yourself and say, you know what, this is not worth the fight? Or was there never a question, you're going to fight it to the bitter end?
Well, I am married. And my husband was the one that was like, listen, this is expensive. It's a tax on the family. I'm not the only person in the family. We need to make a decision. And I, as the emotional one, was like, no, these are my pets. These are my babies. We can't get rid of them. This is worth fighting for. We were told we could have them. Mm-hmm. We were told 3 times that we could have them. And that's why I wanted to fight. And the best husband in the world said, okay, we will fight.
Nice.
That is amazing.
So we did.
All right. So now you're in the courtroom. The judge says, no, this has got to go to jury. Start to tell us how that all went down. Like, so you're going into the courtroom, you literally see people from your local community as a juror, right? And, is this like, what you see on Perry Mason?
It is. It is actually. I've never been to court. I've never done anything to have to go to court. This was something that we chose to do. And we're sitting in there, and all the jurors that have been called to come in are sitting behind us, and I'm trying not to make eye contact. And they call up the first 12 people. Their attorney asks questions. Our attorney asks questions. You have to decide, do we think that's going to be a good juror? Do we think it's going to be biased? And then you both have to agree, yes, we'll accept this one, or no, we'll let this one go. And that was an entire day. That was the Monday. It was Valentine's Day was when we went to court, which was interesting.
Did you represent yourself, or did you bring that lawyer who said, no, they're pets. Let's go with that?
No, we had to have an attorney. There was no ifs, ands, or buts.
Did you have to go find a new attorney, or was it the same attorney that gave you the
advice? It was the same attorney, but it was the same law firm. The first attorney we from the law firm was an HOA attorney, but not a trial attorney. So then they worked together because one was a trial attorney
Oh, yeah.
and the other was an HOA attorney. So our trial attorney was the one that came with us, and we had met with him quite a few times. Interesting enough,
He has
because
chickens.
of in our neighborhood, there were many influential people. There was a former senator, so it was difficult for us to find an attorney in our area that didn't have a conflict of interest. So we had to get somebody from Greensboro.
Oh,
so
wow.
along with our attorney's fees, we had his travel and accommodations
Oh,
that we had to pay
gosh.
for. Yeah.
How long was that first trial?
It was after the first day of selection, then it was just the rest of the week. So it was really a 4-day trial.
Still a
And-
4-day trial?
Yes.
So, okay,
And
so you're
they're
going,
ridiculous. Yes.
so you're in the courtroom and you're
Wow.
sitting there for like, what time did it start? Were you there for like 8 hours, 10 hours?
It would start at like 8 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. And we would break for about an hour and a half for lunch.
Okay, so I
How
mean, this is
nerve-wracking.
just like what you see on the news, what
Yeah.
you see on TV. Okay,
Yeah, it's the
so
same.
the jury is picked, and there's what, 12? 12 jurors?
Yes.
Is that okay? Good. And then the judge is sitting over there, and then the lawyer from the HOA is representing the enforcement HOA company that
Right.
was okay. What were some of the conversations that took place? What were some of the ones going, oh my gosh, that's a good point, from the opposition?
Wait,
Or
had you moved away at this point?
No,
Okay, you were
we
still
lived
there.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
what
Because
were
I
some
didn't
of
want to move.
Yeah.
what were some of the things that happened during those 4 days that were, you're getting nervous, like, oh God, that's a good point. Maybe the body language of the jurors are like, oh yeah, this lady's crazy, another crazy chicken lady.
Yeah. Their task as a jury was to decide if chickens could be pets. That was their entire task. So if they said chickens could be pets, then I could get all of the fines back and we could keep our chickens. That was the whole thing. And then the second part was if chickens could be pets, was the HOA being fiscally responsible by fining us and spending all this money on having a jury going to trial, because they had to pay for their attorney
Right.
as well.
And they only have
So-
23 homes to pay for that.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right.
All right, so
Yeah.
in 4 days, the jury goes back into the room, right? And you're sitting there waiting. How long were they? What's
Deliberating.
What did it say it
was-
again?
Deliberating.
Deliberating. It was about 2.5 to 3 hours.
And so you're
How did you feel? Did you had a
Well-
feeling how that was going to go?
I felt during the second day when I was on the stand, I felt like it went really well. There were a lot of jurors that were nodding. The women were, it would seem to be the women were more understanding, seemed to be more empathetic with what I was going through. We showed some videos. We showed a lot of pictures. I have probably 10,000 or more pictures of me and my chickens in the house, having spa day, watching videos together, movies,
You
playing
went
in the
camping
backyard.
with
I
them?
took a camping. One of my hens wasn't feeling well, wasn't eating right, and it was time for us to go on our annual trip to Hilton Head for Christmas. I took her with us. The resort didn't know that I had a chicken with me, but I couldn't leave her because she
Yeah.
wasn't eating, and she was one of my favorites. She's 7 years old now, so she's doing
Is that the
great.
little tiny bantam?
No, this one's my dark Brahma.
Oh,
Maggie
yeah.
Moo,
yeah, I saw
Maggie
that
Moo.
one too.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's Maggie Moo.
all right, so we're day 4 in court. The jury comes back, and you stand up, sit down, and then the judge says, "Do you have a decision?"
Yep.
And someone
there
stood
was-
up and said,
Yep. But before that, when they first came out, one of the jurors looked at me and just went
Oh,
like
no.
this. And I guess she was the one that was fighting the most for me
"Oh boy."
and for my chickens, but she lost in the end. But I knew then when she came out and she looked at me, I knew it was done.
Oh.
And
Wait,
we
what-
had decided at that moment, before they even read it, that we were going to appeal.
Okay, so I'm a little confused then. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
want to give away the ending because this has made the local media
It's
down
still
there.
ongoing.
What- Okay,
Yeah.
don't give away the end. Hold on, we got to work our way up to it. Okay, so I was told that I thought she won. So what happened? What did the jury say?
Well, they said that chickens couldn't be pets. That
Couldn't.
was their decision. Could not be pets. So that they fell under the livestock and no poultry of any kind. So that's what the jury
them's
said.
fighting
That-
words.
Yeah, right?
For this
Right.
community.
So that's what they said.
This is an
When the-
outrage. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, okay,
Of
hold
course
on.
they're pets.
See, I wish I didn't. So I guess I don't have the right story.
No, keep going.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So then
It
let's work
goes-
through it. So
it-
they said nope, they cannot be
goes on.
pets,
How
and-
devastating.
and then you appealed.
We met with our attorney, and he said that there's already a case in North Carolina called the Steiner case where a lady proved that her goats could be pets. And so
We
that was
gotta get
one
her
of
on.
our, yeah. That was one of our cases that we stood on. And a lot of the points that our attorney tried to make, the judge wouldn't allow. He would say, "Oh, I wouldn't
Like
allow
what?
that." Well, in Union County, because in our HOA documents, it said that pets were defined under the Union County Animal Control Ordinance. And under that, it did not say that chickens were not pets. It didn't even mention it. So we were saying, well, if this is the definition, if this is our guide, then we need to bring that in. And the judge wouldn't allow it. So there were several things that the judge wouldn't allow that our attorney said should have been allowed and would be allowed on appeal. So we decided at that moment to appeal to appellate court in North Carolina. which
I'm
is
sorry,
actually,
the
I believe, in
what
Raleigh.
court?
Appellate, which is where
The
your
appellate?
appeals are heard.
Okay, so
Yeah,
This is next level.
okay, so we're going up a level now.
We're going up a level.
So you're still
Which took a
standing your
long
ground.
time. Yeah.
Said we're going to appeal.
Yep.
We're going to take it to the next level. So how long did that take until you actually were in the appeals court?
Well, we decided to move because we just couldn't live in that community any longer. We were being harassed. Like people would drive up and down on the street, making sure we didn't have anything. Like we couldn't have a stick in the yard. We couldn't have weeds. We had an RV at the time. If you pull the RV in the driveway, people were in front of our house taking pictures of it to turn us in because you're not allowed to have an RV in your driveway. We had a horse trailer. Oh, but your horse trailer's in front of your barn. You can't have it. So like we were starting to get other letters, like they were harassing us on every little thing they could harass us on. 23 homes in our neighborhood. And they had all this time to pick on us. So we decided to move. So during that process, we put our house on the market. But we still hadn't gone to the appeals court yet because that takes a year. So that took another year. So we had to pay the fines in order to move out of the neighborhood, in order to sell our house because they had a lien on our house. Because you know HOAs can do that. We didn't know that either. So they put a lien on our house. We had to pay the fines in order to move.
How much were they at that time?
They were $31,500, and that doesn't count, the attorney's fees,
Right.
and his travel, his hotels.
May we ask how much you've spent so far in legal fees?
Around $80,000.
All right, put this in perspective. So she's plus 100,000 to fight for her chickens. I mean, folks, I hope you
But
understand.
she's fighting for all of us.
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
And that was one of my friends said,
Yeah.
we are backing you because you are fighting for everybody.
Really.
Everybody who owns chickens. I mean, it's a lot of money. We have given up a lot of stuff because of that. That's a lot of money, and we've had to pay it. And we moved in this process.
So
we
okay.
did go.
Sorry, so you moved out. You had to pay. So far, you're over 100,000 you've paid, and there's still no
Yes.
resolute anywhere. And so you move into a new house. Do you have your chickens back at that point when you move into the new house?
Yes.
Okay.
in the
Are you
process-
in an HOA?
No, we actually bought farmland from a farmer
Good.
that he had winter wheat on it at the time. We carved out a little side of it and built a little coop. Got all my chickens back that I could get back. Got a couple extras for fun.
Oh yeah, yeah,
of course.
Celebrate.
That's when I got my guineas, which was fun. And we carved out a little side while he was still farming, so I could have my chickens during this process. So we bought the land, we built a little coop, we moved some chickens, and then we finally heard back from the appellate court
Okay.
that they overturned the original jury and that chickens were considered pets.
Okay, hold on. All right, so pause for a second. I'm so sorry.
And that's not a jury decision, right? That's
Right, that's the appellate
a
court.
judge. Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
I was assuming you had to go back to court and then fight this again, but that's not how an appeals court works.
No, the attorneys have to create pages and pages and pages of legal speak that most of the time I don't understand as a normal person. Their documents to show why it should be appealed. And the appellate court first has to approve to read it and then make the decision. So that takes a long time. There are so many backed up, months and months and months. So that was more than a year before we got that decision back from the appellate court.
Okay, so they overturned it. So now it's in your favor. They said, yes, chickens can be pets at this point.
Right.
Okay, and how long ago was that?
That was this year, right?
Yes, it was beginning of the year.
Okay, so about let's say about 10 months ago. And okay, so where are we now sitting today? What's going on?
Once the decision was overturned, of course, we were excited. Our attorney reached out to the HOA's attorney and said, we want the money back.
Right. That's what I was wondering.
And with 8% interest,
Ooh.
which I guess is the law.
Oh, okay.
And they had like 30 days or something to respond. They responded at the very last second of the day that they could respond, that they were going to appeal to the Supreme Court. So the North Carolina Supreme Court. So once you appeal, then it's kind of in limbo again. So we won, yay, but then we're waiting to see if the Supreme Court will hear the decision. So if the Supreme Court says, yes, we'll hear it, then they read it and then they make a decision. Or they can say, we support what the appellate court did, or this isn't worth reading, and then it goes back to us. So we're still waiting for the Supreme Court to read it.
Okay, so here's what I'm hearing then. Okay, so it's at the Supreme Court. I'm assuming right in Raleigh, because Raleigh's the capital.
Yes.
Okay, so right in our backyard. This is kind of cool. But it's just lawyers, litigators, state senate. Like, who's sitting down and who's reading this and making the decisions?
The Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court justices.
So, the justices. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So it's in their hands, and do you have any idea how long that's going to take? Do they kick back questions? Like, what is this process?
I don't know exactly what the process is. I just know that it is long. It's taken a long time, and it still hasn't. They haven't even looked at it yet to decide. And I think you can look at the dockets online, because my husband looks those up, to see if it's been even in line to be read, and it hasn't been in line yet.
Okay, so there's a line to be read, and it's not even in the line, literally, like not standing in the line. Wow. Okay, so this could go on for a very long time. Okay, so now is this adding on, because you got a lawyer still involved, so you still got legal fees, racking up, right?
The fees only come if he has to read a document or if we send him an email. So we try really hard not to call him or send him an email.
Right.
Because, billable minutes every time he opens an email from us. So my husband will email maybe every couple of weeks. Have you heard anything? Any updates? We're just trying to control the cost.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of cost, Kristen this morning started a GoFundMe page for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's
we
exciting.
wanted to share that with you. We wanted to share it with our
there I
audience, because here's the message I want, that I am hearing, that I want to help contribute to share this message. And it is, you are fighting not just for you, but for every chicken owner.
Right.
The significance of this is so amazing, that can affect a lot of people's lives in a positive way. And I definitely wanted to get the word out there. And I have never set up a GoFundMe page, so I don't know what it entails. But basically, Kristen, if you could explain what does this mean to all of us listening right now?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't put a link in the comments.
I'll put a link on the show.
Yeah, it'll be on the show notes and the description. But this is a GoFundMe to help recoup any legal fees that they've had. They've made great sacrifices as a family to do this, and like we've said, this really does create a valuable precedent for anyone in North Carolina in an HOA or a town or even anywhere in America, because the precedent that backyard chickens are pets is applicable for everyone, no matter where they are. So that's why I made this, because it is an incredible story that Mary and her husband kept fighting after they moved. I mean, why would they do that? They did that really for, I believe, all of us. So that's, I'm almost teary-eyed now. But I've had my own battles with an HOA, and now I can take this precedent, this court case, to my HOA, lay it on their desk, and walk away because of the work that they've done. It is hugely valuable to everybody. A town starts harassing somebody, and you lay down that precedent and say, hey, read this court case and let me know. You just walk away, really. So this is a case worth promoting. This is a case that I want everyone to know about when they have backyard chickens.
And contribute if you can.
Yeah. And very little bit. I saw my daughter.
Yeah, and you have to
donated
change that
a little
because
bit.
her legal fees are over $80,000 now. So
and it's not done.
Yeah.
So, depending on what the Supreme Court of North Carolina can decide to take it up or not, right? That's where it sits right now.
Right. And I can probably put a link or a little blurb on our website too, so people, if you don't see the YouTube video, we'll have a little thing on our website so people coming in there can just read about your story a little bit, and we'll be able to contribute. Because like we said, this is for everybody, even people outside of North Carolina, because other states, if this wins in the Supreme Court, other states will be able to point to this as a preference.
Absolutely. This has a lot of relevance across America.
Right.
Yes.
And the fact that you're not even living there and you're still fighting just makes us all want to give you a big hug and give you a couple chickens more and
have a couple more. I'm a chicken pusher myself.
That's right. And we all just want to help because we see the value
appreciate
in
that.
all
This is why I'm doing it. I care about the chickens, and I always say chicken people are good people. We're a good community.
I say that too.
We care about sustainability. We care about the environment. I mean, I could go on and on about how chickens are good for the environment. We don't have ticks in our yard. I do let my chickens out now in our yard. Everybody was all about these army worms, and I'm like, what army worms? I don't have any army worms.
And that was the point that Mackenzie just made. I also wanted to add to it is that this opens up the future for other people that maybe never could have them. Like, this is
people that were on the fence. This could be
right.
Change. I mean, and this is great for business.
And that would make the world a better place
if
more people had chickens. I think.
The therapy, the people that couldn't have them. I mean, there's so many great benefits in hopes that this does get passed. So, Mary,
I have one more question though. It is unbelievable to me that this HOA is still fighting you. Why? And where are they? They have deep pockets? I mean, are the neighbors upset that all their HOA funds are?
Yeah, who's paying their
do they have a
lawyer?
special assessment for all of these legal fees?
Well, they will, but they keep saying if they win, then we can't get our money back. So it's all financially driven first. They don't want to give our money back. They don't want to give our money back, and they don't want to give our money back with interest. But I also think they want bragging rights.
Yeah.
They want to be able to say, we beat the chicken lady.
Right. So they're going to spend $60,000 to get your 31.
Are we allowed to ask who this HOA company is, or is this like a national organization?
It's in the court documents.
It's in the court documents.
Okay.
It's Oak Grove Farm HOA
Wow.
in Wesley Chapel, North Carolina.
Who is their management company?
Henderson.
Okay,
that's the legal company, or what?
No, the management HOA management company.
That's the management company that they decided to go with.
Okay, that's what I was asking for. Is because
yeah.
So, but they're just representing the people saying no, this is personal. So that still goes back to the people saying yes, keep fighting, because someone's got to be paying their side of it.
Yes, Suzanne asked, if you win, Mary, do they have to pay your legal fees?
No.
That
was
not like a divorce.
No, that was part of their original documents, was that they can't go after us for additional fines, and we can't go after them for attorney's fees.
Okay.
Gotcha. Well, Mary, thank you so much.
Wow.
You did such a great job, not only fighting for the chickens, but talking here with us and explaining everything. And we're going to talk again soon. Please keep us posted. If there's any updates, we'd love to have you back on, and just hope that the Supreme Court at the state level see this and say, yes, we're not going to overturn the, what did you call it, the appellate decision. But they potentially could say, no, we're not even going to look at this, and go back to, and then is it dead in the water at that point?
Yes.
Okay, so you almost want them to not look at it.
Because you're still in a win.
Right.
Yes.
Because that would be legal standing.
Right now you're winning. Awesome. All right. Any other questions for Mary? I didn't realize it. That was a quick hour.
I've been reading the comments. They're just people in the comments are just like, wow, what an incredible story. We are on your side. We want to help. It's you've got a huge community of support here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to do everything we can to promote this for you. We'll put it on our social media. We'll put it on our website. We'll put it in the show links for everybody watching the podcast. We'll be able to see it. And hopefully we can.
I'm crying, and we've got listeners crying, and you're crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Right.
And we hope this is just the happy ending, right?
All right.
This is so. And this is a gift to all of us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to need that dirty tissue right over there.
No, that's real. That could be All right. So, Mary, thank you so much. You have a wonderful weekend. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
No, you did not use that tissue.
I did.
Oh, you are
I'll
nuts.
use your sleeve if I have to.
Wow. So that was amazing, and wow. I love that. I love that so much that I hope, obviously, there's going to be a great ending here, and I bet you it is. I think that, I mean, you don't know, though. I mean, who knows what's going to happen.
I just can't believe that neighborhood is still fighting.
I know.
I mean,
Joy just donated. Thank you, Joy. She found it.
So, yeah, okay. So many thoughts right now, but just definitely
Ben said Kristen's getting pink eye.
Yeah.
Or a bacterial infection.
Staph infection.
Yeah, you don't know what was on
poop.
Yeah, you don't know what was on that tissue. So the people listening and the future people listening, when this gets uploaded, there will be a link that they can go to help with the GoFundMe page.
Yes.
Also, can we get the links up for the media coverage that has been there so far? And I know you did say there was some pictures or whatnot. We didn't get a chance to share.
Oh, yeah, her video.
There was just a video that she showed in court.
Yeah,
let's take a look at
that playing while we continue to talk.
Yeah, if we could.
So the title of the let me just give you and the podcast listeners, the GoFundMe title right now is "Support Legal Battle for Backyard Chickens Are Pets."
Perfect.
By Kristen Warren.
Yeah, that will also have a link on the podcast because you can see show notes on the podcast. So it'll be, I think this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you guys see this? I'll cover up Matt instead of Kristen.
And this video was played in court, and I guess, well,
you can't hear the volume, but she's basically doing like
just talking to them,
squealy chicken voice, like, "Hi, everybody, how you doing?" Like the same
we
thing
all
I do.
Yeah,
the same thing that.
Yeah. And I noticed she had one just like Cracker Muncher, and I was gonna bring in Cracker. I think she's holding her right now. I think. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was gonna bring in Cracker Muncher today, but she's molting and didn't look too happy. She's one tail feather. I didn't want to have to put her on camera with one tail feather.
She would not appreciate that.
Yeah. And it was kind of droopy. So I'm like, okay, I get it. It's an off day. You don't have to come to work with me
but
today.
they're all flocking to her. She doesn't have any food. They're all just coming to her. They love her.
Right. So hold on. So
and I love the variety.
This is
kudos to Mary to get one of each because that's my goal.
Yeah, especially all the Polish. So this was evidence in the court, right? This was Exhibit A, Exhibit Alpha, right?
Weren't they all following her?
Yeah, because, so many people don't understand backyard chickens. I mean, we still hear it today that as soon as they think chickens, they think about, those large chicken farms where, they never see sunlight. They think about roosters. They think about they just have no clue what we are advocates for, that we need to go back to the way, our grandparents used to have chickens. So, I mean, again, there's just so much power to this story that I know it's going to end well because it just makes sense. And so thankful that she took the time to let us be a part of this story.
Right.
And Kristen, you're the one how did you come across this? Because you're the one that brought this to our attention, right?
I saw it on a Facebook backyard chicken group in North Carolina. So someone had posted an update on her court case, and I was like, that's interesting. I didn't know this was in the court system, so I looked it up. And then I reached out to Mary.
It was so funny that she named all her
And
chickens
Craig.
after her grandmother. I did the same thing.
I don't have that many grandmas.
Yeah, I thought everyone had, like my father was in so many different families, and I thought everyone had 10 grandmas.
Yeah, I had
well,
two.
I'm going to need a few more than 10.
So anyways, all right. So
for my 5 chickens.
guys, if you're just joining us, it is September 6th, 2024. We just got done talking to Mary, and we're going to have Mary back on. I don't know I guess when we get some updates, because I can't wait to hear about that. And I guess I'm just very intrigued too about the whole, I wasn't trying to get too detailed, but just kind of paint the picture in my mind. I always thought I was going to be a lawyer when I grew up. And, that's where the rubber meets the road, right? That's
it's
where
an important job. I mean, look at. I mean, I'm not familiar with the court system, but you had some good questions about how all that works. And
yeah, it was good to see the process and that you did do her due diligence, just as we did with our court thing that we had to go to. We had, which actually was what saved us because we had the emails that we printed out. There was one man that we were talking to specifically who was saying, no, this isn't. Your coop isn't an accessory structure that needs to be permitted. So we never did need a permit because the city was saying, well, if you had gotten a permit for it like you were supposed to, you would have known that the setback was wrong. But so Sean, my husband, was talking on the phone to this one guy in the city of Raleigh, and he said, because he loved to talk on the phone. He's like, Matt, I want to talk on the phone. But he said, can you email me this? And that was like the Perry Mason moment because right at where we looked like we were losing the whole board there, we brought up that document, we gave it to our lawyer, and they saw that document, and it had like, oh yeah, it was good talking to you again. So it showed that we were talking to them and trying to get specifics and making sure that we were in the right. And it was proof positive from one of their own city employees that said, no, you don't meet the requirements because it had to be longer than 12 feet and be 125 or be 125 square feet. So they said my coop was longer than 12 feet because the eave. Yeah, I mean, this is what they do though. They find something.
You really don't have an eave on that because you got the old roof style.
I know.
You will have an eave with the new roof style.
They considered that enough to be more.
Oh my gosh.
They also said that we didn't have a corner lot. It was a slice of pie. And I was like,
All right, so it is 1 o'clock.
Yes.
I want to move on, and I don't know if we're gonna get to all those YouTube comments,
Well,
social
I
media
have
comments. Oh yeah, okay, then let's do that. But real quick, I see so many people. Thank you also, everyone that's been taking the time to watch and listen. And I don't want to forget. The reason every time I've been mentioning September 6th, 2024, why is that date so significant? Today is Nanner's birthday, so happy birthday, Nan. She hasn't had a chance to chime in yet. She should hopefully be listening. I'm saying she's on the phone, so everyone, please wish Nan happy birthday if you get a chance to. And then Jim Mendez, where can we buy
Jimenez.
Acre from? What is it?
Jimenez.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We can sell the Acre. The factory that we buy it from won't sell to the private person, but we have a lot of it in stock. We absolutely love it. If you're interested, definitely just give us a call. We can see if we can sell you something. I mean, I know we can, but it may not. You might have sticker shock. Acre is very, very expensive. It is well worth it, in my opinion, especially for us in a manufacturing process because it behaves so well, stays on that CNC machine. And something that I went over the new inserts, right? In last week's show, that I know we got to get this up on the website, but what people have had us do in the past is if you want it cut to a certain spec, you can also just have us cut it and send it to you that way instead of sending out a whole sheet, because that get very expensive.
Muskrat.
There's Nanner.
Happy birthday, Nan.
Thank you.
It's a special day.
Thank you. I was listening to our guest story, and I was also on the phone. So I apologize for not chiming in. But lucky for you, I just got off the phone, and we used to offer to cut people's flat stock for them, and it got returned because it was off. Because tape measures are not made equally. You can figure out the rest. We sell it in 4x8 sheets.
What? This is the first I'm hearing of that.
This is where you say, we're going to take this offline.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later. All right, so,
I wanted to do one more chicken in the news, if I may.
What happened to our chicken in the news audio? It's missing, but we got to... There is chicken in the news?
Yeah, I'll have to find it. It's not the one you did.
You're right. I like the one I did. There's news. There's breaking news. Yeah, go ahead. Hit it. That's your cue now, Kristen.
Well, I just wanted to... I don't want to talk over
Yeah,
it.
no, breaking news
All right.
just in. What?
Breaking news. Missouri.
Into the mic.
Missouri has a new law on backyard chickens, HB 2062, went into effect very recently, August 28th, 2024. This law allows homeowners to own up to 6 chickens on a lot, and it prohibits HOAs from banning chicken coops.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Let's see how many other states can do that.
Yeah, that is fascinating. Do you know what? Obviously, I know COVID sucked, but I guess maybe I have a sick, twisted way of always looking at the positive side of things. A lot of positive things came out of COVID, and that definitely sparked giving people the time to do something they've always wanted to do, and that was backyard chickens, and God knows our phones just didn't stop ringing. A lot of it, too, you would think you would have saw this years ago, but I bet you because how many people got into backyard chickens, that is also sparking this.
Yeah, isn't that good news?
That is good news.
Yeah.
Okay, so
way to go, Missouri.
All right, so Ingrid has got some stuff that I have no idea what she's about to say. Maybe I read it, maybe I haven't, but I definitely want to.
Well, I just wanted to. Aslan had a great comment. If chickens were purely livestock for production, there wouldn't be so many beautiful and fun varieties.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which is true. So that is a very good thing.
And someone else asked if it had been on local news.
Yeah, I didn't. I've seen other things because I basically did a search for HOA backyard chickens, North Carolina, and I think something else came up, but it wasn't her story.
Yeah, I looked as well. Mary, I see you in the green room. Can you nod or shake your head? Has this been covered by the news? Okay, she says it has.
Okay.
So.
Maybe email me a link if you have it, and I'll also put that on there. Thank you. All right. Where do you want to start, Matt?
We'll see if we can get you on the Today Show too.
We can probably get this on Fox News.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, am I allowed to say that? Never mind. God, see, I can't say anything
we were on
anymore.
Fox News, right? So is that what you mean?
I don't know if you're allowed to say that anymore. I don't know.
Well, we were.
So
thank you.
We're also on the Today Show.
Technically, that's correct.
in the audience.
Fox and Friends would love this story. They would absolutely love this story.
Well,
I
I
think
think a lot of people would love it.
Yeah.
A lot of people
I think
really
it would probably be more able to get on local news than
True.
national
We'll start
news.
there.
But anyway, what question do you want?
Give it to me. Whichever one you want to give me.
All right, this one was
Oh, it's a question or a comment?
No, it was a comment. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
This was, I think this was into how many chickens can you fit in a coop? The longer one. How many chickens fit in a coop? The Carolina coop has a bad floor plan.
Shut up. This is not for real.
No, it is.
Go on.
May I continue?
Yes.
The hens have to walk under the roost poles immediately on entering the hen house. In my hen house, they never have to walk under the roost poles to get to the nest boxes or be in the open area. So I responded because in our coops, yes, the roost bars are in the hen house, but they're not roosting while they're laying. They're two different activities. They don't happen at the same time. So chickens aren't getting pooped on as they're going to the nest box because they're not laying eggs at night. And if they do, they lay them and they fall into the hemp because we've all had that happen. Mm-hmm. So what do you say, Matt?
I don't know. I don't even know what to say because one, it's you have to go back into the whole explanation that I always like to explain to people, the art of chicken coop building. Mm-hmm. All right. And that with our coops especially, what we have designed is literally a one size fits all. Do we do custom coops? Absolutely. And if a customer said to me, Matt, we want to change this floor plan because of maybe that reason, we're like, sure, absolutely. But chickens don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anymore.
Well, I mean, I think
you need to get fired up. Come on.
I'm so tired. I'm realizing how tired I am.
You're usually a lot more fired up.
But his whole point is the hens have to walk under the roost poles immediately upon entering the hen house. The only time that would seem like that would be something that would be undesirable is if they were roosting and laying at the same time, which they do not.
Right.
So, it's a non-starter as far as I'm concerned. So
I'm so tired. That's really what this comes down to.
The same video, but a YouTube short, said the recent one, 12 is too many, 8 at the most. Too many.
For what? For what?
You were saying, so the last short that Paul did was how many chickens.
A 4x6 hen house?
Yeah.
With 2 6-foot roost bars?
Yeah. So they said they will pick on each other. That's too many. 8 at the most.
Not if they're
Have they ever been to Tractor Supply?
I know. Well, yeah,
true. Good point.
You have to. Very good, Matt. You have to understand too. I have to be really nice when I write responses. It's tough.
That's a long buzzer.
I could do a bunch of drafts first before I actually post the comments because I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I'm so tired. I'm so done.
Oh my gosh.
I have done so much.
No, you got to keep going.
No,
I've done all this work, but that's fine.
No, come on. That's just stupid. 12 inches is like a king size bed. Typically, people will criticize me, say, Matt, you're just trying to upsell your customers, sell them a bigger coop. No, size matters so much when it comes to your chicken coop. And the industry standard that you're trying to figure out who comes up with this industry standard, it's the people that comment and say, no, 8 inches is all you need. This is the first time someone said, what do you need, 16 inches per hen on a roost bar?
Yeah,
if there's
I mean,
8?
Anyone who's had chickens or overly involved with their lives like I am know that there's a lot of drama on the roost bars at night when they first get up there. That's where all the drama happens. They're all jockeying for position.
I wonder if they don't understand that there's 2 roosting bars inside of our 4x6.
No, it was clear in the video. It was totally clear.
So that's 18 inches
clear to us.
18 inch. No, Paul did a good job. You didn't see it, Nan? That's how I kind of test everyone. If you guys are really my friend.
Everything.
It's 18. That's 18 inches per chicken. That is insane.
Yeah.
The more, the better. And I'm never saying to maximize your chicken coop. Leave room.
Obviously, but I mean, and I have that coop. And I do have 8 chickens, and I had 12, and they, yeah, I know.
So and this is the point I was going to make, and I'm just like, I've said it over and over and over, and
you can't please everybody.
Well, but in the chickens roost in trees. The limbs are above. Yeah, I mean, it's just, So, but thank you, Chase. I'm glad I'm not the only one saying this because it's just that simple.
The next were on. There's a lot of comments on the short that Kenzie did about.
Oh yeah, there is.
First of all, I guess
Mackenzie needs a mic. We got to run another mic to her office.
So in that short, I think Christopher did that short. But in that short, it's never said that it's hemp bedding that we're talking about. So for a lot of, it's never said. There's a box at the end, but there's...
Mackenzie, can you come in here, please?
But it was never said, and people have pointed that out.
You do not need to dismiss yourself.
Many times. So many times.
Wait a minute. We never talked about hemp bedding in that short?
In that short that Kenzie and Christopher did, it was never mentioned that that was the product. So people don't know. We have to assume that people don't know what they're looking at. And that's
a good point.
So
I just saw there was a lot of comments about just Mackenzie in general, criticizing what she was wearing. They said she needs to get new wardrobe. And I appreciate Mackenzie so much and everything she does here. And that was, I know, not easy for her. That was like one of her first videos. And she just did such a good job. People thought she was a paid actor. And I want to continue doing more of that.
Well, she has that influencer face. She's very attractive.
Gotcha. I think that's Mackenzie. Right?
Trolls.
Mackenzie, why don't you come in, have a seat, get right in front of that mic. Because there's going to be some comments coming up with a video that you were in. If you guys haven't watched it, you definitely got to go watch it.
I was summoned.
Yeah, just go ahead and have a seat. Make sure that mic is on because I think this will be good. So what just occurred to me, Mackenzie, is we got to get a mic in your office now as well, just like Non's.
Whatever you say, Matt.
Perfect
so I was saying,
answer.
The video that you did about the hemp, the short, the reel.
Oh.
That's gotten a lot of comments, and this is not your fault at all. It's just that it was never mentioned what the product was.
Oh.
And people needed, I guess they can't watch a 30-second thing to figure out that the hemp bedding box was on
or
the
like click on the channel and watch any of our other
but we
hundreds of videos over the last
I think we have to always assume this is being seen in a vacuum.
Right.
But that's not you. That was Christopher.
And on that same reel, before I forget, and I might have commented back, and I've learned, especially at night when I've had a couple drinks, I definitely should not be commenting back.
Yes, you definitely should not.
Someone used a word, I can't remember what it is, but it was so like, how dare you even promote industrial hemp to us because of how expensive it is.
The audacity.
The audacity, that's what it was. And I'm like, man, what kind of audacity does it take to say that? We need to do that video, literally showing the numbers, because yes, does hemp cost a little bit more up front, which, there's good news. I can't share that good news yet about hemp. It saves you money. Does it cost a little more upfront? Yes, but it lasts so much longer. It saves you money. We need to do that video.
Well,
yeah.
No,
Ingrid's got that crazy look in her eyes.
No, I'm just trying to figure out how to. So I guess a lot of the people, their objection was to the hemp. A lot of people said, there's a box, it's hemp bedding. People came. A lot of people were just saying that. Like here, I have chickens, raised them my whole life, and have used this, and it's not even worth it. It's just more like for looks. I don't need city folks. We're city folks now. Well, I am, but you guys aren't.
Call out the name. Oh
my God, I'm so blind. It was at Reese 9786.
At Reese 91. When you comment or Kelly comments back to these people, ask them to come on the show.
No, I comment back to these people.
Okay, ask them if they come on to the show and explain themselves. I would love to have that conversation.
I didn't even get to finish it.
Go on.
So we don't need city folks telling me how to do my job.
What makes us city folks?
I don't know. I know that what I'm talking about. Some people do this different and know more. It is not to trash, but you all need to take some perspective, some people's advice. Look, this is something we promote, so we're not going to sit there and promote we're not here to promote everybody's ways of keeping chickens. We're promoting what we found works.
And a lot of people probably don't understand how much this is because of the deep litter. I would never recommend industrial hemp bedding for someone that cleans out their hen house every week. That would be a waste.
Totally.
But
I think as a company, we're very receptive to people's ideas all the time.
Oh, God, yeah. And I promote that. I say all the time, 90% of our coops with like the hen doors, wind doors. What do we call them now? I forget. That was never our idea. Our job though is to take that idea and figure out how to engineer it, execute it, and get it to the customer.
Yeah, we don't dismiss people's comments and advice.
Absolutely.
Another one said, if you're not ready to clean your animals daily, then don't have them.
If you don't have to, then don't worry about it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to not have to go to work every day so I can stay home and clean up after my animals.
Me too, me too.
It's better not to. Look at the people that clean out their run every day. I promise you guys, sand, if it works for you, fine, but you're working way too hard. But you can't. We need to do an experiment out there. I want a chicken coop with sand. I want a chicken coop with our recipe. Speaking of our recipe, remind me to tell you a story about yesterday where I need your help to convince this guy to change his mind. I was driving out to look at a barn to possibly take the wood off or whatever. And on the corner out in, I don't know where I was, somewhere in North Carolina, is what I would say is the most beautiful landscape material company. No, I'm saying it wrong. Where they have the gravel, they have the sand, they have the mulch, they have the compost. And how this guy has it is there's just big piles, like just everywhere, all right? But neatly tight. And they're not hidden in those concrete bunkers. So you see everything. I'm like, that is beautiful. That would be a great place to have a video. And of course, I see the dyed mulch and I see the natural mulch and I see the compost. So I stopped by there and I was like, can we do a video here? And will you talk about it? And the owner, he goes, well, I'll think about it. He's kind of old school. Maybe I was a little too Yankee when I was talking to him, but I think I'm going to need you to stop by there because I think it would be great. I would love to promote his product, but I think what I'm going to do is actually buy it. I think what we need to do is figure out, go there, video it, and I want to show people, if you want to make the forest floor, here's how to do it.
Right.
But
I also don't think it's that that's another thing where people are making this way more overcomplicated. You don't have to bring in a certain mixture of this kind of dirt, a certain mixture. You can. You totally can.
Yeah, and the guy at the landscape place goes, yeah, I get it. I have people come here and they won't take that sand, but they want that sand. They don't want that grit. They want this size grit. I'm like, okay. You're welcome. Yeah. Those are people that I'm probably pissing off or trying to educate. But, educate yourself and then figure out what's best for you. And I'm a huge advocate of that. Right. But what I was going to say is let's put 2 coops out there and see which the chickens prefer. Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they love sand.
I don't think they would. I think whatever coop they decide to roost in, they'll make that their coop. And what you put in there, they'll just deal with it.
You put compost and some topsoil and some hardwood mulch inside a run. And then you put another run with sand. Which one do you think they're going to go hang out in?
I feel like we'd have to start over with brand new chickens.
We would. But I want to do this experiment.
Yeah, because they're creatures of habit. They're going to go back to the one they're used to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Real quick. I forget his name. Pros and cons of using dowels versus chains on windows for ventilation. Great question. There's a reason why we use dowels. It's because if you do the chain technique, it is so much, because of the angle, it's so much tension on that, in this case, an eye hook, it'll break. If the soffit, if the overhang of this, if the soffit was above where the window comes up and the chain's hanging straight down, not a problem. If that was the case, that's probably what we would do. It's not. So when you're at a very far angle, it's just too much tension. That's why we do the dowels.
Yeah, my chains broke. Not the
the chains suck. I see y'all move to dowels, but wouldn't a chain offer more variation of airflow? Here's the thing. Our hen houses are so big, I don't think it makes a darn bit of difference. And there's so much surface area for ventilation.
Windows on all 4 sides.
Yes, I don't think moving it from here to here actually makes a big difference, honestly. I don't know, but hopefully that answers that question.
Judy has a great comment.
Can I get some? What do you drink? Can I get some water?
Just lemon water.
No.
I was so disappointed in the hemp until I realized it was my fault. I was using the hen house as a brooder and had a rubber boot tray to catch any of the drips from the waterer. After 3 weeks, I could move the water and feed to the run. Bingo, no smell. So love the hemp, and I would say most problems are human error. Oh, Judy gets a T-shirt.
Thank you, Judy. IngridFrom.com.
No,
that's the point I'm trying to.
She has a cute puppy too.
That's what I'm trying to make the point to people, and that is scary to have that conversation. And that's why I love if customers could do more of that. Is Because 99.100% of the time it's human error. Thank you, Sunshine. Happy birthday, Nan. Nan or everyone, happy birthday.
Are we having cupcakes?
Cupcakes and...
Oh.
Yeah, well, just because Matt's on keto, do we all have to suffer?
20, I think 22 pounds. 20.
Congratulations.
Dude,
Right.
it's just melting
I'll have
off.
Matt's cupcake.
No, I get to have a cupcake today. It's
No.
Nan's birthday. I get to have a cheat day. Listen, it's typically human error. Also, video note. We need to do a video on that. I want to go to a couple of these customers that have said the hemp doesn't work. It's a flaw in the design. This and that. No, it's human error.
It might
So-
also, like the scorpion lady, might also be
100%. I would love
Our
to go out
Coop.
there. I would love to go out there because that's how much I believe in what we preach, what we do, and why we do it. So again, yeah, Judy, you just won yourself a T-shirt.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Ingrid
Thank you.
at
From.com.
Stop it. I used to have that domain. Judy, just email Ingrid at Carolina Coops with your address and shirt size, and I'll be happy to have
Yes,
that
and that's
sent
just my way of saying thank you. You won the gold. You got the golden bell.
out. Yeah.
All right, moving on. What else you got? Oh, questions. All right. Sonos. Yeah, and if you guys do have a question, this helps so much. Put in questions so that it kind of sticks out in the comments. Is your hemp in the American Coop hen house sufficient for dust baths? My teenage chicks are there full time. Do I need to bring in a container of dirt or wood ash? That's a great question. That is a great chicken question. You want to take that one?
Well, they will take a dust bath in it if they don't have any other choice. But it would be nice to have something that doesn't have poop in it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I would not rely on hemp because
They will use it.
Yeah, because that's what more of an instinct.
Yeah.
But what they really want is the opposite of hemp, something dusty that's going to act as a desiccant to cut up the, and dry out those exoparasitic insects and things like that. I forget what it's called. But when teenage chicks, they need to take a dust bath.
Yeah, I've seen them do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they might be old enough to be in the run, depending on if you have other chicks. So, it depends on how, I don't know if they're still keeping teenagers in the hen house.
Where'd Mackenzie go?
She went back to work.
Oh, no, I still want her. See, there's a comment for her. Okay, I guess
We can read that.
Yes.
Carrie said, Kenzie, you are awesome. Please don't pay attention to the negative comments. To quote Matt, it's just that simple. I've learned so much from you all, and it makes sense.
Thank you. So that reminds me something, folks, and I'm just gonna ask, and this is probably wrong, and I don't care anymore. That's my half-year resolution around here. I need to go back and just say what I need to say. Talking about all these social media comments, and some of you do it, and I've actually reached out to you personally saying thank you. I think the last one was like Misty Hooker. She did it for us, and I just sent her a private message saying thank you. I wish we could figure out a way to reward people. This is where it might be wrong. That when on these social media posts, like especially ours, that when people are saying something is wrong and whatnot, I don't like that we have to constantly defend ourselves because, of course, we're going to defend ourselves because it's our business. But nothing's more powerful than like these comments right here where they say, here's the true story. This is why I love what Carolina Coops is preaching.
Right. We're not really just we're not defending ourselves as much as to acknowledge the comment and then give them more information. So you have to take out that you're defending yourself because that already puts you in this.
Like a battle.
Fight. Yeah.
Exactly. And nothing's more powerful than when customers say, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, when other people chime in on our behalf
So I would love to have that army out there, and then we reward them for their time with a free shirt, some hemp or something. Those product ambassadors, I think someone once called it. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but I just thought that'd be awesome. Yeah, come back in. Carrie said, you are awesome. Please don't pay attention to those negative comments. I'm not sure if you heard that. So I just think that would be awesome if we have the people out there on social media that see these things, especially on the Carolina Coops Owners Forum, which has finally kind of calmed down a little bit, which actually I'm thankful for. So many things end up on that should not be, especially people that don't own a Carolina Coop.
Well, yeah, Paul has taken it over as the sole admin. Paul was the guy that came here, Paul Burns. And he is not allowing people that don't have Carolina Coops.
Good. And nor should he, because that's not what the point was. The point was they wanted a place for people to show off how they improved or decorated or whatever they did.
Just sharing stories, build stories, chicken stories.
From the Carolina Coop.
Right.
Joy says, develop a customer fight back team. Yes, I guess that's what I mean. And not so much a fight, but I love and appreciate, and you guys make my day. You have no idea how much it means to me when I see those positive comments, when our customers are defending us, because that's when I remind myself that's why we do what we do.
That's right.
Here's another question.
Should I use what I can rake up from my wooded area for the run? What would you suggest for the dust baths? So
that is a fantastic idea, to use what's already available for free in the woods. And for dust baths, they really like a dry area, and it could be just plain dirt if you would like. But if you want to add a little extra, you can add some diatomaceous earth, not the pool kind. Some ash, and not from your charcoal grill, but from a fireplace or something like that. What am I missing?
Nothing.
Well, we need to do a video of that.
That's actually what I have. I mean, I have the dust bath in there.
Oh, maybe some sand.
You can. I have a little galvanized tub that I will mix up the diatomaceous earth. Every time I freshen it up, there's chickens in there.
Yeah.
But there's probably like a chicken in there every day at some point.
And sometimes I wait to see where they choose to do it, and then I'll go over there and amend it when they're not looking.
Yes. Understand what they're doing. They found a material that is going to be a desiccant for those, those mites and other insects that have that waxy cuticle that holds the moisture inside the insect. It cuts it up, it dries them out. And that's why diatomaceous earth, if you were to put that underneath a microscope, it's like tiny, tiny pieces of glass to those insects. So that's what you're trying to do.
Right. And they'll find a way of doing it in soft, dry dirt anyway. So Mike says, being on social media or being in the public, one needs to have the skin of a rhino.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Just let the water, hate roll, bounce off you while you continue running forward. There will always be trolls out there.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I'll be honest with you. Yes, I am tired, but I am becoming a lot more. I'm accepting what we have done.
Yeah,
and that I am now finally convinced myself how good we are. Because for years, I always doubted us. I doubted myself. That's what I should say. That we're not perfect. And we're not. We're not. There's always room for improvement. But my God, we have earned the right to stand our ground. And for me to start saying you can't please everyone, because you can't. They burn up so much of my mental energy, and it's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to the customers that deserve the attention.
Yeah, it is important to step back and look at the big picture. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Trying to. I tell you, I was in a video recently. I said I've been doing a lot of reflection, and oh God, a lot of it. It's almost like I'm going through a midlife crisis of realization. But I think it's a good thing. I think
it's a healthy place.
So Sono says, hemp feedback real time. 6 chicks in the hen house only for 2 weeks with 3/4 a bag of your hemp. Absolutely no smell, not a single fly. Amazing. I will open the run door this weekend.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. And I tell you, one of the greatest ways you could pay us back, especially for doing this show, is please, if you haven't already, leave those reviews out there, promote it. Because one, I love industrial hemp. I hate being wasteful. And what I mean by that is I think it's just hemp is very sustainable. It's very clean. It serves so many great purposes. And of course, I love our hemp. Our hemp is by far the best. And when you really think about it, for our hemp to be the same price as other people's hemp, that's incredible. So you get the best hemp for the same price. I'm trying to get it so that you can actually save you can save money buying something better. But it's not easy. Yeah. And one of the greatest ways you can help us to achieve that is leave those reviews.
Yep. And it supports the show. It supports research and development, all sorts of things. Local American company.
Gina says her hemp is going on 1.5 years with 12 chickens and no smell, no flies.
See, thank you. Because, here's what I was also going to say. We were going to start, how is it going? We were asking for our customers to have a coop from us that either they bought a coop from us, they assembled it themselves to send us pictures of their coopscaping, right? How's that been going?
Kelly's taking care of that. We have quite a few. I just want to, if people want to do that, please send, don't do a screenshot of your cell phone. Please send the actual files. Make sure they're big files because some of them I can't use just because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've gotten a few, and that's great. We love to see what you guys do. We love to see how the coops look, and we love to see your chickens around the coop. So it's been great.
And it all started. We kind of known this, but one of the influencers we've worked with recently said you need more pictures of your coops with that beautiful coopscaping. And they're right, because we don't have a lot of that, because by the time we finish a coop, we take some pictures and then we walk away and the people do the coopscaping. So yeah, even coops we've turnkeyed.
It's coops in their natural environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we love. All right, it's 1:30.
No, well, hold on. Let's finish up the comments. You guys.
Well, there's a good one there. It says, Matt, you are a passionate man of what you do. Seeing old and new videos, that passion only increases with time.
Aww.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's
good job.
Yeah,
good job, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is.
Watching some of those old videos, boy, I tell you, I have had to start realizing how traumatic starting a business is. It's horrible, and I have to deal with the PTSD, and I've realized that's what you guys maybe don't realize, why I react sometimes the way I do, which is not right. I'm not justifying whatsoever. I got to figure out how I can be better, and I'm realizing the root cause is it's so traumatic to have something that used to happen back in the old days, especially with Nan and I. Nan and I would be in a hotel room. My poor children. I'm so scared the stories they're going to say when they get older. Nan and I had the hardest time even having a conversation about trying to solve a problem because we didn't even know what words to use because we're creating something that has never been done before. Mm-hmm. So you got the intensity, you're tired, you're traveling around the country, you got these kids, you got this dog. Like, I don't know if Nan's listening right now. She could explain that. Even that was so hard. And it just brings back that fear that I used to have because I had no choice but to fight. I'm thankful I never tucked my tail and run, but going back and watch those videos, it's nice to see why it all happened, and it is starting to work. So that statement's very true.
And we're glad you didn't give up.
Yeah.
Yep. Chase, somebody was asking about what greens to give chickens in the winter, and Chase answered to Joel, we save all the greens from our harvesting the garden, like the tops of the carrots and the beets. The greens get dehydrated and put into jars so we can use to feed them through the winter.
Oh, what a great idea.
I just grow stuff in the winter for them.
Yeah, this is the time of year for people, I guess, in this area to put out your ryegrass and clover. Yes.
Holy cow.
And that will grow here in North Carolina all winter. So the chickens will have greenery all winter.
They love kale.
Yeah, kale.
My chickens love kale.
Any greens and clover. Clover's high protein.
I noticed you mentioned something to Kevin over at Epic Gardening about the banana plant leaves.
Yeah.
I didn't know
so he was talking about, he had a video on his banana plant, his banana tree. And I told him, I said, hey, the chickens love the banana leaves. And he's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, they love them. They're big. They're full of water. And they're able to stand on the actual leaf because it's the hardest thing to feed like greens to chickens that are loose. They just kind of pick it up and they can't get pieces off of it unless you hold them like I do for too long. But the banana tree, the banana leaf is big and they know they can step on it and then just start ripping off and they just shred it and they eat it. It's great.
Okay. Do you think you'll ever put a chicken tree out on the market? Chicken tree meaning a pole somewhere with branches coming off it and the chickens go perch on it.
Yeah, I think so. And you can do that. People have made stuff like that for their coops. I just always remember what you said.
Don't ever put it higher than the roost bars inside your hen house.
Right.
Yes. So we've actually have talked about it, thought about it, and I would love to because I love those things, especially like the cat trees. I just think it's a lot of fun. And when we finally are going to be doing the goat house soon, the goat house, you guys will see just the things that you just don't see anywhere else about trying to take advantage of their instincts.
Right.
I don't know. It's not something I think is a good idea, but yes, we have thought about it. Also, here we go. One of our road crews, I think Chad, had to go out and replace an egg hutch, and we told this customer, you don't want rollout nest boxes. It's not a good idea, but at the end of the day, we will do what the customer asks, and the customer called in and said you were
Come
right.
get this.
Yeah, it's actually sitting out there out in the parking lot. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. It's not a good idea. So opinions on rollout boxes. Thanks for the responses. Currently building my similar to your Our Coops, taking as many notes as I can. Awesome. And then since you are learning from us, I appreciate, because that's what I always tell people. If you're not going to buy one of my coops, learn from us, but you also become a great ambassador for people that are going to come see your coop that are like, well, I can never build one of these. Where should I go buy one? You'll be like, you got to go check out these guys at Carolina Coops. That's one of the reasons why we, do this, because we want to help you. And then if you do a YouTube video of it, if you give us a shout out, that'd be great, because I love when people do that.
Yeah.
I don't like when people copy us and they claim it's their idea.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
That's not cool.
That happens.
Not at all.
Yes.
And I always comment when people tag us.
Yes, you do great. So again, real quick, rollout nest box. They don't like it. It's not natural. It's a waste of time. When people tell you, oh yeah, you need a rollout nest box, it's because something else is wrong. It's just that simple. And I think we have videos talking about that. What are the other YouTube comments?
I don't know. I'd have to bring them up. Most of the. Oh, somebody's also said, these are just the haters though. Great, $1,000 hemp for the coop you need a mortgage on.
Well, there is a whole line of chicken coops to meet different budgets.
Have you been to Tractor Supply, sir?
Yeah, actually, some of those are a lot more pricey than I thought they were.
Yeah, I mean
I'm shocked how much those are.
Price it out per square foot.
Yeah. And the materials.
Yeah, and then compare our coops.
A lot of those Tractor Supply ones only last a year.
Speaking of our coops, I know we have a meeting after this meeting, and we are how close to Click and Buy launching?
Close.
Days, hours, minutes, months, weeks.
So it's a 2-part series of launch. What I am going to do is take the next gen coop of American and Callie's, redo the forms so that people can see what's included now and what the costs are, and the forms will be submittable. And they will submit it, and it will go to sales. That will happen so we can get all that into production while I'm just finessing with the Click and Buy. I already have a page partly done.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. So what I mean, folks, by Click and Buy, and here's why I bring it up, is it's been our goal that we can start using Google Ads, because it's just the name of the game. And you see the picture of our coop, but in order to do that, you have to have a product that you click and buy it. And that means you don't have to call us, even though you can always give us a call. It's a monster to create this Click and Buy from so many different perspectives. And Ingrid is going to have it up and running, I think, by the end of the day today.
Yeah,
and
that'll happen.
It just makes everything
here's the point.
Effective.
If you are
efficient.
If you are on the fence right now about buying a coop from us, I'm not saying this to be pushy. The prices are about to go up. We have done a lot behind the scenes out on that shop floor to make sure we are as efficient as possible. The cost of everything is ridiculous. And I hope I made a good decision, especially, any business owner is going to understand one of the greatest expenses to a company is payroll. And I did not want people that are willing to come and fight for this company every single day to suffer with the inflation they have to deal with. So we've been paying people more than we ever have. And I think it's definitely paying off as far as the quality of the people we have, but still costs money. And it's done a number on us, to be honest with you. Thank God sales are through the roof, but
people are going to get a lot. So yes, the price is going to go up, but things will be included that weren't included before.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, rope wrap roost bars, the Dutch door, things that people
about value.
Yes,
it's still a good value,
and we're making it standard. And that's another way for us to actually be efficient.
Right.
Is not have all these options, and I love options.
And we're just
who
trying
doesn't love to shop and scroll late night in bed, glass of wine, nobody's talking to you, you're just shopping in peace.
You'll be able to buy the coop that way.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Basically what we added was things that people would add on normally.
Already.
It was the 3 things that people get all the time.
Right. And here's the big thing about all this that's really been holding it up. It's going to include shipping. We are taking a huge risk because shipping.
That was the biggest roadblock.
So we just had to throw a number in it. So it's going to say shipping included, right?
Yes.
'Cause we're not going to say free shipping because there's no such thing as free shipping. It's included in the price.
Included in the price.
So.
But you still have to make sure the same things as if you can take delivery. That
this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna have to jump in the pool and see what happens.
See how it goes.
This is a great question from Chase Smith. Will a hen still go broody with a rollout nest box?
That is a great point. If you like to have a broody raise your babies, because who doesn't? They do all the work. They could be discouraged by the rollout nest box. That would be one big reason why I wouldn't do a rollout nest box.
You know what you just said to everyone.
I love broodies.
Could you imagine being a broody hen and trying to keep your eggs from rolling out?
Yes.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating.
People are going to want
And your clock is ticking.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Did you catch yesterday when I started asking Ethan some questions?
No.
Like I was a counselor and he was answering in chicken?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my gosh. I ended up deleting it. Oh, we got to do as the egg turns. Listen, you just told people a reason to buy rollout nest boxes.
Oh, to keep them from going broody?
Yes.
Well,
no. Don't.
They can still go broody.
They're still not
just
going to
gonna
like it. They're just not going to use the rollout nest box.
Yeah, they're going to sit on eggs in the deep litter or somewhere else.
Right, in some weird corner of the coop that they shouldn't be spending time in.
Right.
Trying to make themselves dinner.
All right.
And your egg hutch will be perfectly clean because it'll be unused.
That's right.
Ingrid's ready to go.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
It's getting a little hot in here.
And we have a meeting.
Yeah, we got cupcakes, meetings and cupcakes.
All right.
Should we go live? Should we have the meeting
Stop
live
with the
on TikTok?
Can we? I want to speak freely. No.
We do speak freely. This show is all about speaking freely. Don't we speak freely?
We have been speaking freely for 2 days, and
wait a minute.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Listen, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful weekend. We got a lot of football. I'm excited. We got a game tonight. First one in Brazil. Hope the Packers lose. We'll see you guys later.
Hey. Bye.